Welcome to another Type with me. In today's video, I want to talk about lazy loading in Angular with child components. If you have a parent component and you want to have child components, how does this behave and how can you then implement lazy loading into it so that not every component is being loaded even when it's not being shown. So actually we have this kind of structure. We have app panels where you have app panel. And when it's active, your app panel will be rendered on the screen. But within app panel, and you will see it right here, I have something like ng destroy and ng on init. And if you view it in the browser, you will see that even if your panel is not active, you will get the initialize panel, and when it's been destroyed, you get the destroy panel, but it will not be destroyed, right? So let's see how this looks like in the browser. So you see here that our panel has been initialized. If I click on toggle, you will see that panel works and it comes into view, right? But actually what you want is maybe that when you load your application, that your component is not being initialized, that it not comes into the on init. And when you activate it, it's going to be initialized. And when you deactivate it or you toggle deactive, it will be destroyed. So what we could do now is add a app panels active, and we have here an ng template. So an ng template will not be rendered, but it can be recognized by a directive. So we created directive app lazy content. So if you go to that directive, you see that we have a directive and it has a template ref, right, that can be used. Then if we go to the panel here, actually to the panels, right? Then you'll see here that we can use the active. We can do check active, and we can have here content child lazy content directive, which can be a template. And of course, if we have that template, we can then access that template with the explicit content, and we can add the explicit content to the embedded view. And when it's not active, we can clear it, right? And so by adding it to the view container ref, it will be created. And when it's been put down inactive, it's been cleared, and the on destroy will be called, right? So that's a trick that we can do to achieve this. So you will see that we still have the initialize panel because one panel is directly initialized, right? But if you then click here on this one, we get true here, but that's because of the fact that actually you'll see here that I forgot to save it. So sorry, I need to save it first. So I'm sorry, but if we now refresh the page, I saved it, I click here, you see here initialize panel, and then true because our active property is being put to true. Initialize panel. If we now do toggle active, you see here that false, we destroyed the panel, right? And then of course, if I click to true, initialize the panel again, and here click to toggle active, and it's been destroyed again. You see here that we can go to this part, right? And we can very easily see that we now have app panels active true, active ng template with our directive app lazy content and our app panel, right? So this is a technique that you will see that Angular Material is also using with the Angular Material tab content. So if we go now, and I will show you that right away. So like you can see, mat tab content, decorate the ng template tags and read out the template from it. Selector mat tab content, right? And if we go to the components of tabs, I guess if you go here, you see here lazy loading, and then you see here by default the tab content are eagerly loaded, and you see here that it also uses this trick to do lazy loading with the mat tab. Right, because you can have multiple tabs, of course, and not every component that is in a specific tab needs to be loaded directly. If you want to have it lazy loaded, you can use the ng template for that. But if you have some kind of use case yourself, you can very easily now program it yourself so that you have lazy loading within, for example, a component that has certain parts being visible when you behave or you click on certain things, right? And if you don't want to render it out immediately, you can use this kind of a trick to enforce it for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. I think it's very useful to understand the lazy loading and that everything from ng content is directly loaded on the page, all right? So if, for example, here my tab, it has underneath an ng content, it's been directly loaded on the page because of that. So yeah, you need to use an ng template. An ng template then it's only being used when it's been grabbed and it's been put into the view container ref like we saw before, and that's a great technique to use. If you have any questions, please provide them into the comments below. I will try to answer them. I hope you liked this video, that you learned something from it, and that you're going to use it. If this video was very useful, please tell it also into the comments. If you have some further questions around Angular, you can always ask them in the comments as well, and give this video a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much and see you next time.